This was such a fun episode to record. We interviewed Morgan Keene, who you may know from her TikTok or Instagram. She posts content about all aspects of low tox and holistic living. What was so exciting about this particular episode is that in all of our previous conversations, we've really gone deep into just one particular topic. So whether that's clothing or men's skincare or perfume, but in this episode, we really go all over the map. Morgan truly knows so much about low toxic living, and we were peppering her with all of our questions. We covered so much. Some of the things we talk about are whole foods eating, her health journey and having a functional doctor. We talk about low tox personal care, home and cleaning products. We break down ingredients like phenoxyethanol and lake dyes. We touch on EMF exposure, natural birth control, tips for cooking with stainless steel. We talk about the myths and misconceptions about low toxic living. And Morgan tells us about what is next for her as she grows her low tox living community. It was also so fun because it really just became this two-way conversation of sharing tips, product recommendations, asking each other our thoughts and experiences living this low tox lifestyle. I think this episode is a great listen for someone who is just kind of getting started on their low tox journey because we do cover so many different topics. It's also good for someone who has been following either of us and just wants to get to know us a little bit better. We agreed that we could talk 4 hours, and I already know we will have her on for another episode in the future, but we really tried to keep this conversation to tangible, actionable advice on many different aspects of low tox living. So whether you're just getting started on your healing journey or you've been living a low tox lifestyle for many years, I just know you will walk away from this conversation with valuable insights and guidance. I hope you enjoy it. Welcome to Detox Your Dome, the podcast, where we empower you with knowledge about the ingredients that make up the products that we use every day. And we help you to become a more informed consumer on your journey towards living a clean, safe, and toxin-free lifestyle. Detox Your Dome. Body, home, planet. Welcome back to the Detox Your Dome podcast. I am your host, Sophia, and I'm joined today by my co-host, Monica, and our lovely guest, Morgan Keene. I'm so excited to have you here. Welcome to the podcast.
Yes, thank you for having me. And I'm so excited to talk to you too as well, because you know just as much as I do. So I'm just excited to chat about everything low toxic living.
Yay!
I love it. And Morgan, I will say your Instagram page is amazing. You're very
thank you.
clear, to the point, concise. It's so digestible. So you are absolutely crushing it.
Yes.
Thank you. And that's so great to hear, because I just started Instagram, so it's still very new for me, and I feel like it's so different from TikTok. I don't know if you've experienced that, Sophia.
Absolutely. Totally still trying to figure out what people on Instagram want to see versus what people on TikTok want to see. You would think you could kind of just post your content everywhere, but no, not really. And I agree. Your content is so digestible. It's so easy to just be like, I have a question about this specific topic, and then you watch the 2-minute video and you're like, okay, I feel like I know so much more.
Thank you, and same to you as well.
Okay, so I want to start at the beginning. I feel like you've talked about it in a few videos, and I feel like it's sort of your low tox living origin story. So tell us about your health journey and what got you to this place of being so committed to low tox living.
So my journey started when I was 16 years old, just a teenager, and I started having, and I feel like this is very common with girls our age, but started having all of these different symptoms. I had rashes all the time, inflammation, bloating, chronic fatigue, weight gain, and I just didn't know why. I was a pretty active teenager, like in competitive sports, had a nutritionist at the time, so ate what I thought was good. And then I went to the doctor and they were like, everything's completely fine. Just come back every couple months. We can run some blood tests, see if anything progresses.
It's like, no, nothing's fine. I have rashes on my body. That's so not
and
not
it was
fine.
I don't feel good. All the symptoms are adding up, and this was before holistic living became more mainstream. But that's when my mom and I were defeated. We were like, what do we even do now? So that's kind of what got me into the functional medicine journey, where I started going to a functional medicine doctor who helped us find the root cause of my issues. We ran all the blood tests. We did a food test, a full food test. Okay. And I could go into this too.
I also think a functional doctor is so ahead of its time. To think about that was 10 years ago.
Totally.
You were really looking for answers.
Did you have to drive super far to find them? Was it a crazy experience?
No, I got so lucky. There was one local, and she's actually a family friend of ours now. But the difference with these food tests is I had done one at the main hospital I had originally gone to, and they test you for maybe 2 or 3 strands of gluten. So they're like, nope, you have no allergies, no sensitivities to gluten. But then when they ran the food panel at this functional medicine doctor, there's 15, 16 different strands of gluten, and I had probably like 4 or 5 off the charts. So that's when I
Oh,
knew, like, oh my
wow.
gosh, I need to eliminate gluten from my diet.
That's so interesting.
Okay, so gluten-free lifestyle. I am also gluten-free.
Oh,
It
I didn't
is
know that.
hard. No, it's hard freaking work. What was it like transitioning? Like those
Oh my
early
gosh.
months.
I
So
was
hard,
so
right?
young. I don't even really remember. That was almost 10 years ago now, but it was very overwhelming. And I don't, when did you start gluten free?
Probably like 4 years ago.
Okay. It's probably,
And I
yeah, it
tried to
probably,
fight it. I'm like, no, no, no. I'm having pizza. I'm having pasta. Like, there's no way.
oh,
I
yeah.
grew up eating gluten, but
No, exactly. And most of us have. And the gluten-free world has progressed so much now. But like 10
hmm
years ago, the only option on the shelves were there wasn't pasta. Like you had to make zucchini noodles,
hmm
like spiral them to
Oh,
like make
hmm
noodles. So that was kind of the norm
I'm
for
so
me.
sorry.
It was, yeah, it was crazy. There just wasn't options. So we were making a lot of our own food. Like we were making our own
Hmm.
almond flour cookies. They didn't have the store-bought gluten-free cookies. So it was a
Right.
lot. And then
yeah.
I'm in middle school, high school at the time. So then bringing your own lunches every day, I couldn't eat the school lunch anymore. So it was a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so hard. And I agree. I feel like it's something that so many people struggle with and like so many people just don't feel well. And it's so great that you were able to see a functional doctor that like validated that. I like we had a whole conversation with Annie from Let's Feel Good and her whole thing is just like there's this I don't feel good epidemic going on. People just don't feel good and
hmm
then it is hard to get validation from professionals. So I'm so glad that you got some answers and you were able to start making changes. So how soon
Absolutely.
after you made those changes did you start feeling better and what were some other things that you were doing at the time?
It has been a journey, and this is kind of where, with that journey, low toxic living comes into play. So
Yeah.
I'd say that I didn't really fully feel my best until 2 years later. It takes consistency.
Wow.
You have to detox your body, get rid of the inflammation, stay consistent with eating real food. And then in college, it was kind of another wave of getting sick
Yeah.
again. Like, I don't feel good, lots of drinking, alcohol, like going out, not
Yep.
really sleeping, seed oils in the dining hall. So I feel like I went through another wave of inflammation.
Oh,
Senior
yeah.
year was when I started seeing videos on TikTok about, oh my gosh, like our beauty products have cancer-causing ingredients. So I went down that rabbit hole and then I kind of started learning about food and then just spiraled from there of just like learning everything I could about it. And now I truly feel the best I ever have in my whole life. Like it's been almost a
Oh,
10-year journey that came in
Yeah.
waves.
I love hearing the success stories of like, no, I feel amazing now. Like, I feel so happy now. But it is hard. You just have to stay consistent with these things. It's not a diet, it's not like a
Yeah.
choice, a one off. It just has to be built into your lifestyle.
Absolutely. It's a
So,
lifestyle change.
so what are some like tips that you have for building all of these things, you know, the whole foods diet, the non-toxic products? Like, do you have ways to break it down for people that makes it a little bit simpler or like, you know, say someone's at their first year, they're just starting this journey or maybe even they're 3 years in and they still feel overwhelmed. What tips do you have for people to how to work this into their lifestyle?
Yeah, so starting with food, one of the best pieces of advice I ever got when I first started my healing journey was shopping the perimeter of the grocery store because that's where you'll find the fruits, the vegetables, the produce, the food with the real ingredients. It's really when you look in the middle of the grocery store, next time you go, you'll notice this of like all of this food is processed and you really have to dig for what is actually clean and good and reading the ingredient
Yeah.
labels. So I would start there with food.
I'm a Trader Joe's girly.
Yes.
Love.
And Trader Joe's has so many like little snack things. Are you like absolutely not still vegetables, fruits, or are you okay with the Trader Joe's snacks?
I
Your
actually just made a video
favorites?
about this the other
Oh my
day.
god,
Perfect.
amazing.
I've seen videos on TikTok of people saying like Trader Joe's is a fake health food store, which I mean, I agree to an extent. There's a lot of products there that are not healthy at all, like filled with junk, like not real ingredients. I'd say, yeah, I love a good snack, but it's really trying to find the products that are made without the seed oils and minimal ingredients. Like try and find the popcorn that has the olive oil, the corn, and then the sea salt versus one that has the dextrose, added sugar, all of those extra additives, and just looking for the ones with minimal ingredients. It's as simple as that, looking for the real ingredients.
So what are some brands that you shop from at the grocery store that maybe do have the packaged foods?
I would say, and this is where it gets tough because kind of keeping an eye out on these ingredient labels since they just got bought out. But I really love Siete. They use real ingredients, no seed oil. So they use avocado oil versus like safflower oil. Love Primal Kitchens for sauces, but again, they just got bought out. So it's tricky. I really, when I go to the store, like I shop mainly like the real like produce.
Yeah. Yep. You're
What
like,
do
I'm
you
not
mean
even
by
really.
getting bought out? Like, what is, like, who bought them? And what is that, like, how does that change anything?
So Siete, for example, in January got bought out by Pepsi, which is a mega corporation. So if you, I don't know the brands off the top of my head, but if you walk through the grocery store at Target, for example, half of those brands, like, yes, it's called Siete, but it's actually owned by like P&G or Pepsi, like a bigger brand.
No, I agree. Like as of now, like ingredients haven't changed. And it is a trend. Like a lot of these smaller health brands are getting bought out, which also a side note, Monica, I don't know if you remember, but like after one of our first podcast recordings, I was like, oh, are you hungry? And she's like, no. And I was like, all right, well, I just, because you always talk about Siete on your page and through my imperfect food delivery, like they have Siete. So I was like, okay, like let me get some of these chips. And I was
think
like,
I ate the whole
and we
bag.
ate the entire bag. It was like the hint of lime. And I was like, all right, well, like I'm just going to have these chips.
Those are so
We literally ate the
good.
whole bag, and I was like,
I
"Those
love
are
it.
gluten free. Like you can have them."
And,
yeah,
and so those are like actually healthy?
yeah,
Okay.
And
Yeah, they
anti-inflammatory, like it's the better chip. Like if you're going to eat a chip, like get that
Right.
one because
You're
we're
like,
not
I'm like,
eating
yeah, it's healthy. No, it's a chip.
Yeah.
Like, as healthy
The
as a
best one you
chip can
can get.
get.
exactly. All about the balance.
How
but-
do you, and I feel like I'm struggling with this now. I'll go through a week of like healthy living. I have whole foods. My meals are so planned. And then the next week, I'm like, I don't feel like it anymore. How do you guys avoid burnout?
That's a really good question. You go first, Morgan.
I think with this lifestyle, it's consistency and kind of shifting your mindset of, oh, like this is not a diet anymore. This is a lifestyle change and just learning about the ingredients. Like once you learn about the ingredients that aren't good for us, it's like I don't even want to consume that. Like it was made in a lab.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to
Totally.
put that in my body anymore. And I just feel better not eating that. So it's different because I had allergies, so I couldn't eat certain things. So it was more of an incentive. Like I couldn't eat them. So automatically I just ate cleaner food. But yeah, what do you think, Sophia?
No, I completely agree. And I feel like it gets easier as time goes on because like it truly just becomes your lifestyle. Like I'm thinking in terms of food, you know, the first time you learn to make a chia pudding or the first time you go
Yeah.
grocery shopping and you're looking at the ingredients, like, yeah, it's going to take a long time and it's going to be like, how am I making all these new recipes? I'm used to just making the same things every week. And like, I just learned that they're not actually good for me. At the beginning, it is hard, but now everything that I cook at home is just automatically, I know it's filled with whole foods. It has vegetables, it has, you know, the grass fed meats. And I don't even think about it. Like I'm making them in between meetings in the middle of the day and like, I don't even have to put any thought with it. And same with products. I feel like the first time reading through ingredient lists, you're using product scanner apps, like it does take a long time, but it's sort of like, okay, I've already like for the past, you know, 3 months, I purchased good skincare that I really like. Okay, I don't have to go back and scan things again. I know what to
Yeah.
buy. Or
know
like
what to buy.
once you already
Absolutely.
swap out your hair products, you just kind of stick with those. It becomes like second nature and you continue kind of what you've been doing.
What about like, I have such a sweet tooth. What about like healthier sweet treats after dinner? What are your
Yeah,
favorite?
I think it's like kind of a trend right now, but a good trend of making homemade marshmallows. So my family just
Oh.
made those for Easter, but it's literally just organic maple syrup,
Okay.
beef gelatin. I'm trying to think what else is in
Love.
it. Very simple ingredients.
Oh, yes, the marshmallows are so good. Yep.
Yes.
With
Oh,
with hot
marshmallows
chocolate.
are
the ones we've
obviously.
done
Yes, I
hot
think
chocolate.
I made Monica
So
have these.
made me. She
Oh,
made
you
me
made the
have it,
marshmallows?
honest-
I made them like yes, and around like Thanksgiving, I was making them for like 2 weeks. I was just like
Yes.
whipping them up every day. I was
Okay, so
everyone that I saw.
you're making the marshmallows, you're putting them in the fridge, and you're having.
Yes.
That's your sweet treat after.
Love that.
Okay,
Or
I would
another
finish
one.
that whole thing.
Yeah, yeah,
It's so tempting
That
because
would
it
be
makes such a
gone.
big batch to you just want to eat them
Yeah.
all.
Oh, that would be gone in one.
and you're like, I have to make hot
Yeah.
chocolate every single day now.
Yeah.
But then it's better. It's better than the options at the store where again, it's just it's
Totally.
not real food. It's
Totally. Yeah, I agree. I think it just comes down to like making things at home. Like you
Making
kind of
things at
just
home.
have to.
Yes.
Another thing that I love is like the dates with the
I was
peanut
just gonna
butter
say.
and the drizzle of the chocolate,
Yes.
like that. Just and it is filling because it's dates too. In my mind, anything that's homemade, I'm like it's fine.
Yep.
I'm like I'll eat all the desserts.
Well, it's like you know exactly what you're putting in your body.
Totally.
Yep.
Yeah.
And even like if you go to like Sweet Green and get a salad, like you don't actually know what's in there.
Totally. Like there could be the seed oils, there could be the additives. Okay, so moving on to the products. So
Yes.
kind of I guess also going back to like you're making these lifestyle changes. So we've talked about food. Then talk to us about, I feel like there's two kind of major categories. One is like your personal care products, and then one is like home kitchen cleaning.
Yeah.
So let's start with your personal care products. What was your journey and process there of overhauling your products?
So I remember this specifically. I remember I was just laying in my college bed and I saw a TikTok of they're just explaining all these toxic ingredients in our makeup. Never once have I, and I don't know if you guys have related to this, I had never flipped over the ingredient or I've never looked at
No,
the label.
never.
I was
No.
like, if it's on the shelves, we trust
And
it.
like
This
Kim
is what's
Kardashian
viral.
uses it, done.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like it's
Yeah, the marketing, like a product goes viral, so instantly like you buy it. So I remember I
totally.
saw that video. I went down the rabbit hole of just looking through all of their videos. I flipped my makeup
Yeah.
over and I'm like, oh my gosh, like I see all of those ingredients. So I remember specifically, like at that moment, I completely just like put all of my makeup into a bag and got rid of it. I kind of connected the dots later on of, oh my gosh, like
Yeah.
removing toxins is just another part of the healing journey. And it wasn't
Yeah.
really talked about until a couple years ago. But going back to that, I don't, on my page, like I never suggest throwing away all of your stuff at once. Like that's just,
You're like,
that
don't
was
do what
just,
I did.
don't do what I did. Like I really recommend like once you run out of something, then go buy the cleaner option because you're gonna have to replace it anyway.
But you're like, no, I'm ripping the Band-Aid. Everything is out. It's like,
I can't believe
you're
you-
throwing it out the window. You're like, get it out away from me.
I did do the same thing with candles. Candles I got rid of.
That's good. That's
God.
good.
And like
Yeah.
I don't ever want to promote waste or anything, but at that time I was just like, oh my gosh, I just want to feel good, got rid of it. So
Totally. Okay, so what were like the resources you were using to find products that were better for you?
yeah, so after I went down this rabbit hole, there was a couple creators. Holistic Ellie was one of them, the first videos I ever saw, if you guys follow her. And then Carly Lane,
love
those
her.
were the two creators that like first opened my eyes. And
Yeah.
then I started watching the documentaries Not So Pretty and Stink, which both
Yeah.
kind of break down like undisclosed fragrance, like what's in our clothing and talc. So everybody should go watch those. Those are so eye-opening.
Okay.
Love.
And then I started
On the
learning
list.
for myself. I did have the Yuka app. I don't suggest using the Yuka app. There's better apps out there. But EWG is a great resource. PubMed is a great resource where you can just type in the ingredient and you can see all of these different studies and like how they affect the body, if it's toxic, if it's not. Super interesting.
Totally.
Wow. And were you on this journey by yourself or did you have friends doing it with you? Maybe
Just
your
me.
mom?
Wow.
Just you. It takes like a lot, right?
It's a
'Cause
lot.
people have their like stigmas and people have their opinions and I
Yeah.
love it. And how do you feel now?
I feel the best I ever have in my whole life. And I think it's just because like those different healing pillars, like your diet, your products, just removing any extra toxins in your life, like our bodies can only take so much. Like I think
Right.
the average woman puts like 186 different chemicals on her body every single day, a number around there. And it's like
Yeah.
just even like limiting your exposure to that, cutting that number in half just makes a huge difference, especially on your long-term health. I think
Totally.
that's where people will see most of the difference, like not so much short-term, but long-term, so that they can't like accumulate in our body.
Totally.
I feel like you guys, you both have so many products that you recommend. And I've always been curious, like, what are the ones you're actually using? Like, can we go down to like the cleanser, serum, moisturizer? Like,
Yeah.
just three.
Yep. So there was a study that came out in February that showed just how much plastic is accumulating in our brains. This study, published in the Nature Medicine journal, found that the weight of plastic in our brains may be equivalent to that of a plastic spoon, which is terrifying to think about. They also noticed that there were higher levels of microplastics in the brains of people who had been diagnosed with dementia compared to the brains of those without dementia. Microplastics and PFAs are truly everywhere, including our water systems. They're in our tap water, our fresh water, our oceans. I'm really trying to dedicate this year to finding ways to mitigate plastic in my life, and especially in my home. One actionable way that I found to do this is to filter out the PFAs and microplastics from my water. And I'm not just talking about my drinking water, but also my shower water. I specifically chose the Weddle Water Shower Duo because it's the only shower filter on the market that has been verified to filter out PFAs and microplastics, along with all the other general contaminants like chlorine and heavy metals. All the other shower filters I was looking at are really focused on chlorine and general contaminants, which is amazing, but I ended up choosing the Weddle Water filter because it had that added benefit of mitigating those microplastics and PFAs, which was also super important to me and just made this specific filter stand out to me. I also really liked that it was truly just a filter. Like, I didn't have to replace replace my entire shower head. I personally love my shower head, and I didn't want to have to change the entire thing. The install took no more than 10 minutes, and it was super easy, and it just looks really nice in my shower. I honestly love the design and look of it. At this point, I'm sure you've heard the benefits of filtering your shower water. Not only can this have a positive impact on your overall health, but it's also beneficial on your skin and your hair. You can achieve all of those benefits with the added bonus of mitigating those plastics and PFAs with the Weddle Water Shower Duo. You can get 10% off your next purchase from Weddle Water by using the code DETOXYOURDOME at checkout. Weddle Water is spelled WEDDELL, and you can use the code DETOXYOURDOME, DETOXYOURDOME for 10% off your next order. Yeah, I think let's go through it. Let's go through the categories. All right, so yeah, start with skincare.
Cleanser.
Cleanser.
Okay.
What
What do
are
you
we
use?
using?
I literally love the Skin Fix Barrier Plus Oil Foaming Cleanser. I talk about it all the time, and I'm truthful to my word. If you came to my home, you would see there's 3 bottles. I put my girlfriend onto it too. It's the only cleanser. I just feel like it gets a good suds, while still being
So
gentle. And
Skin Fix. Got it.
Where is Skin Fix sold? Is that Sephora?
they're sold at Sephora. I actually initially found them about a year ago because I was dealing with some dermatitis on my face, and I couldn't get it to go away. I realized that the vitamin C that I was using was too strong and too concentrated, which was giving it to me. So once I stopped using that, it completely went away. But I was just trying to figure out what was going on. And Skin Fix has all these different lines, and one of them is for eczema or dermatitis. If you have skin issues, that's why they're called Skin Fix. And it was okay, they use the colloidal oatmeal that helps soothe the skin, but it also doesn't use all these other ingredients, because the products that I was finding were they have this active ingredient that helps with the problem that you're trying to fix, but then it has all these other preservatives and hormone disruptors and whatever. So yeah, Skin Fix.
All right, you've been using that. So
Skin
if
Fix,
it goes
and then,
if it goes low, you're getting another version of
getting
the
I
one.
stocked up on the Sephora sale. I just went to Marshall's and saw it on the shelf, so I got a few. I got the travel size. I'm stocked. And I guess just to finish skincare, I also love Dime Beauty. It's just so good, and Honest. I think Honest gets the job done. And then I totally mix in some Korean skincare, mix in some other things. I'm always kind of trying new things, but I would say between Skin Fix, Honest, Dime, I'm pretty consistent there. Yeah, what about you?
I need to try Skin Fix. That is still on my list, and I haven't tried it yet, so I need to keep them on my radar.
Not all of them are non-toxic, but a lot of them are.
Okay, I'll reach out to you or go to your page for
Perfect. All right, what about you? What skincare are you actually using?
So for cleanser, I've tried a lot, and I will admit, I do get sent a lot of products, which is nice because I get to try a lot of them out. But I think 2 of my favorites so far have been the Osea Ocean Cleanser. That's just such a fresh, it's a light cleanser. It doesn't really get sudsy, so it kind of depends on if you like that or not. And then the Dime Jelly Cleanser. I agree. Love Dime. I think those are the 2 I've completely finished. I've used the entire bottle. So recommend both of those. And then I think I keep my skincare routine pretty simple, but the only other product that I use is a moisturizer, which the ones I'm loving right now are the Sky and Soul moisturizer.
Oh yeah.
And then the Good Molecules moisturizer. I have a lot of favorites, but those are the 2 that stand out. And then I put castor oil in it just to really boost hydration. So that's cleanser, sometimes a serum, just any random one that I have. And then moisturizer plus the castor oil combo.
Love. I need to do more castor oil. I do it on my eyebrows and my eyelashes, but I'm let's just put it everywhere.
Yes, there's so many benefits to it. It's anti-inflammatory, helps your hair grow, good for detoxing, a castor oil pack. There's so many benefits.
So good.
I love it.
Okay, makeup. What are some makeup brands that you always go for?
Yes, mine are very spread out. I'm looking at my makeup right now.
Yeah.
I love Ilia. That's a pretty solid one. Pretty much their entire brand is clean. I love Honest, except they're kind of discontinuing some of their makeup, but I loved their concealer.
Okay.
But next I want to try out the Tower 28 concealer. And then
so good.
The Dime mascara. Have you guys tried that one? It's so good.
No, need to. Okay.
So good.
Okay. Dime and Ilia. Okay.
Yes. Yeah. Right next to me I have the Primarily Pure lip oil. So this is a tinted lip balm. And lip balms are hard to find. Tinted lip balms are hard to find. But I've been loving this.
I bought that as a gift over Christmas when they did the lip kit,
Yes.
yeah, like the lip kit has like 3 products in it or something. It's so much easier for me to like buy a product as a gift versus like buy it for
Yes.
myself. And I'm like, I need to just
Me
try
too.
this.
Yes.
um,
What about you?
Okay, so that's makeup.
okay, I agree. Like makeup is kind of all over the place. I'm always trying random things. Love
Yep.
Ilia, love Kosas, love Say.
Yep.
I and then like sometimes it's like random products from different brands that I know are non-toxic. LYS has like a decent amount of low tox options. Something I'm curious to ask you about and what your views are is the lake dyes in makeup, because I feel like it's such a gray area,
Mhm.
and like it's such like a line of like, what you're willing to use versus not. Like what are your values, or like what are your thoughts around lake dyes?
I feel like this just goes back to like everybody's definition of non-toxic is so different. Like some people are like, oh,
Totally.
like lake dyes are okay. I feel
Yep.
like I'm more on the stricter side of like lake dyes can be contaminated with heavy metals. And
Yep.
some brands like Ilia, they do heavy metal testing. So it's like all of their lake dyes are okay. So if I
Mm-hmm.
know a brand does heavy metal testing, then I'll use it. But if not, I try and stay away just because I don't want to expose myself to more heavy metals than we already do on our everyday basis.
And are
Totally.
most products using lake dyes? Like, how
Yeah.
does it?
As like the pigment, it's like
Got it.
almost like nearly every
Tinted like
every brand.
blush, lipstick,
Yep. Yep.
like
Wow. So can
bronzer
we get away
sometimes.
from it, or is it just inevitable?
So, I mean, I completely agree with you, Morgan. I need to do more. I think like that would be a good area for me to like dive into, is like what brands are testing their lake dyes for heavy metals. How I've sort of situated it with like the products that I recommend and like what I use for myself. I feel like so far it's like really, really hard to find makeup that doesn't have lake dyes that's sold
Hmm.
in stores. Like if you're going to Sephora, Ulta, or Target, like you're not going to find it. You can find it if you're shopping online. Like there's totally brands out there,
Hmm.
which like I do want to be like more conscious of going forward, like trying to shop from brands that don't use lake dyes,
Yeah.
online. But I also, a lot of the content that I'll make, it's like, what are you going to buy at Sephora or Ulta? These are the places people are shopping. So I feel like it's
Yep.
better to have a product that has like all the other ingredients are better, at least, like
Yeah.
it's always a spectrum, it's always a scale. But yeah, I think I could definitely be better about removing the lake dyes from my makeup. But yeah, I think it's something it's just hard to find.
Yeah, and I agree with you too. I've experienced the same thing. In store, it is so limited to find products without it.
Yeah.
But yeah, just knowing like which brand, I think Say does heavy metal testing as well. I've
Okay.
emailed them
Mhm.
before. But yeah,
Love.
some brands are very
Yeah,
like
like
they don't want to tell you. So then I'm like, oh,
yeah. You're like,
yeah.
I just can't trust it then. Are a lot of these brands saying it somewhere on their website, or are you often having to reach out and ask them?
So Ilia, I think, says it on their website, and then I've emailed Say before, and they confirmed that they do heavy metal testing in their finished products. And then I've
Love.
emailed RMS Beauty before, and they said that they do heavy metal testing on their individual ingredients. So
Mm.
those are the three brands that I know of
Yeah.
as of
Oh,
now.
RMS is another amazing brand. I can't believe I
Yes, I
forgot
love
that.
them.
I love
Are
them.
brands ever like? I guess once you learn the information about the ingredients, is that stuck in stone, or are ingredients always changing? For like, are do you always have to like go and check again, or do you feel like it's all
Oh
good?
my gosh. It's
Such a good
always changing.
question.
And Sophie, I'm sure you've experienced the same thing,
Okay.
but it's hard to keep up with. So sometimes
Yeah.
my people from
Yeah.
my audience will DM me and be like, hey, like, just so you know, like, phenoxyethanol was added into their products. And like, I emailed them and
Mm,
they told me, like, it's not derived naturally anymore, just certain things.
Yeah.
And so it's for
got
me,
it.
it's hard to keep up with, but it's changing all the time. And so that's why I'm starting to stray away from just simply like non-toxic and going towards like
Yeah.
the term low toxic because
Yep.
their ingredients are always changing. So it's just hard to keep.
Totally. We've talked to a few brands as well where they're like, specifically don't call us non-toxic, because then people will be expecting and will be like really mad if there's different ingredients. And it's also like there's no agreed upon guidebook. Like it's kind of everyone just doing their best, putting these pieces together, naming things, not naming things. So it's like there's no actual standard. It's just like
Yeah,
doing the best we can. So yeah, I
exactly.
agree. Moving towards low tox. Okay, so you mentioned phenoxyethanol. Can you talk about this ingredient and like why it may or may not be good on ingredient label?
Yes, so this is kind of a tricky ingredient, but phenoxyethanol is okay if it's derived from green tea, derived naturally. But the problem with this is that it can be contaminated with 1,4-dioxane, which is a probable carcinogen. And so that's another question. Like sometimes I'll recommend that people reach out to the brand of maybe email the brand and see if it's derived naturally or not. And that's how you know if it's okay.
Yep.
Sometimes there will be a perfectly clean product and it does have phenoxyethanol. So then I'm like, okay, like that's just a low toxic product. And then you can reach out and see how it's derived. How do you
Yep.
feel about this ingredient?
I completely agree. I personally I use products that have phenoxyethanol in them. I recommend them.
Mhm.
And I think you want to be able to recommend products that people have access to and that are affordable. You know, you
Yes.
can avoid phenoxyethanol, but it will be harder to find products, one, in stores, and two, that like are in your
Agree.
price range. And so sometimes it is about just choosing the better option than like the
Better
absolute
option.
best. Yeah.
Absolutely.
And like a product that works for you. I think skincare as well. You know, we can talk about our favorites, but like everyone's skin is different. Everyone has like their favorite
Mhm.
products. If you have this product that just works for you and it has phenoxyethanol in it, it's like, all right, you know what? Just like keep using it. It's fine.
Yeah. And the goal of this journey too is just to limit our exposure. So
Yeah.
using that product where it has maybe one toxic ingredient or potentially toxic ingredient versus the one you were using before where maybe it had four or five, like that's still the better option.
Totally. Totally. It's all about the little wins. Okay.
So now should we transition to like cleaning products and
Yes.
what's in our home? It's spring cleaning, so it's the perfect time.
Yes.
Perfect. Yes. So yeah, walk us through your cleaning products. What are the brands, the products, the holy grail cleaning products that you use?
I would say most of my cleaning products are from Attitude. I really do love them for cleaning. I'd say they're pretty affordable, like in the more affordable range. They're not super expensive or all their products are like in the $100 price range. I've seen that before. But their laundry detergent is my absolute favorite. I know sometimes people are weary about laundry detergent because they want the scent to stay on their clothes, but Attitude is so good. You can smell it on your clothes a day after. Like, it's so good.
Love.
Love it.
Their dish soap is amazing. That's a soap that actually cuts the grease. Like you feel like your dishes are actually clean. And then I just recently have you tried out the brand Truly Free?
No, I haven't.
Highly recommend. I just tried them
Okay,
out
love.
and they're like their dishwasher soap. Instead of putting like a pod that's wrapped in plastic, it's a little
Mm.
scoop and you just put it into your dishwasher and it
Oh,
is probably
nice.
I don't even remember using like a toxic dishwasher pod, but I feel like this just works better. There's
Yeah.
no residue. It's so good.
Love
And
it.
then
Love.
Bon Ami is this is a great affordable option. It's like
Okay.
$2 depending on where you get it, but you can
Okay.
use it to clean your stainless steel pots and pans. You can use it to clean your shower. It's just a really good, like, get the grease off type of product.
Yep.
What do you
Okay,
use?
love. I love all of those. Funny enough, I have not tried the Attitude laundry detergent.
Oh, you
Everyone
have
talks about it, and I don't know why I haven't tried it. I just feel like I'm like I like I get well, do they have a powder? Mainly they do the liquid
I don't
or
think so.
okay. I don't know. I like the feeling of like putting the powder on my clothes.
It's
But
satisfying.
yep, I at least for laundry, I use Pronounce. I really like Pronounce.
Yes, I love
I've
them
used
too.
Molly's Suds.
I use Molly Suds.
Yeah.
That's a good
Love
one.
them.
And always have like the oxygen boost. I always
Yep.
throw that in. But I would
I've been
say
wanting
like
to
none of
try.
those. Yeah, the oxygen boost. Like you can get Amazon, Whole Foods, or like a lot of these laundry brands will make them. It's mainly baking soda, I think, and with a few other
Okay.
things. And you know, you just put on top of the clothes, like always on my white clothes, like just to keep them
Okay.
bright and fresh. I'm a huge Blue Land girl. I just
Oh, I've been
started
wanting to
using some
try
of the
them
Blue
too.
Land products about 4 months ago, and I just love them because we don't have a lot of cabinet or like storage space, and so
Mhm.
everything is just in their nice little containers. They all pack onto each other. It just looks cute. It's all like
I love it.
everything is completely plastic free also, which I love. Like,
Yes.
you know, I bought like the glass pumper hand soaps, and you just get all the little tablets and you dissolve them. And the dish soap is so interesting because the starter pack, you get this silicone squeezer bottle almost, and then it's just powder. And so it's probably, maybe it's similar to like the ingredients that are in the Bon Ami, but you pretty much powder your dishes and then it gets sudsy when you put the sink on. And
That's
like,
so
I don't know, it's
cool.
just like it's all plastic free. Like, I just think they're very innovative.
Oh,
I
I've been
like that.
wanting to try them, and I just posted about them for Earth Day because it's a great
Oh,
sustainable
nice.
brand. Where like
Yeah.
once you have the glass container, all you have to do is buy
Yep.
the refills.
Refill,
Right.
yeah.
And it's like it comes in the smallest little refill thing. I bought a pack over Christmas of their hand soap tablets, and I'm still going through them because, you know, it takes you however long to go through the hand
I
soap.
need
I'm
to
like,
get all these.
and it's just all very compacted, and it just, yes, I have no affiliation with Blue Land, but maybe I should.
Yeah,
I'm a Branch Basics girl through
Oh,
and
yes.
through.
Yep.
But
I've been wanting to try them
I'm
too.
yeah, and it comes in like a massive package, and
Yep.
I got it like 6 months ago, and I'm still using it.
Yep.
That's
I'm
the
like,
best
use
way to
it.
do it.
Yep. Yeah,
Let's-
I have their multi-purpose solution, the
That's all I
best. You
use.
can literally use it everywhere.
Yeah.
Okay, so while we're in like the kitchen area, talk to us about your cookware. This is obviously a complicated topic, but what are the materials that you use to cook with? And start there, and then we'll ask other questions.
My number one piece of advice is to limit the plastic. Like, if you think about it, our plastic cutting boards, when you're cutting on it, like you can see those lines in your cutting board, and it's like, where is the plastic going? It's going in your food. And we're exposed to so many microplastics and ingesting it, and it's just kind of a problem. So I would say just limiting the plastic, and then
So a wooden cutting board,
yes,
right?
yeah, use switching to either a glass or a wood cutting board. And then like the plastic food containers, it can like when it's you put hot food in there, like the microplastics can get in and leach into your food. So I recommend switching it out for glass. Just anything stainless steel, wood. For pots and pans, like swapping out the Teflon nonstick pans for cast iron or stainless steel. Just anything that like has a coating or is plastic, I recommend swapping out.
So I just did this like haul in my kitchen, and I got like all glass Tupperware.
Yay.
So I know, so exciting. So there is like a plastic rubber rim when you close the lid, and I read that as long as the food like doesn't touch the plastic part, then it's fine. And as long as you're not like putting the plastic part in microwaves.
Yeah.
I think that's
is that fine?
I think the main thing is you'd want to make sure like any plastic that's on the container is BPA free.
Okay. Yeah.
But I think, and again, like it is so hard to find glass food containers. I have one from one brand from Any Day. I absolutely love them, but that's like the only brand I know of. So again, just
There's
bring the
always like
best you
some
can.
plastic on it.
Right. Some plastic. I know. And it's like better is better. Yeah, it's better than nothing. But yeah, I agree. BPA free. Yeah, not putting in the microwave.
Also, how do we feel about microwaves?
I mean, I use
our microwave is good for us. I've been like
I honestly haven't like looked into the science. I really haven't. So I still use mine. But yeah, what do you do?
It's very controversial.
It can't be good for us. Like you can make food in 2 minutes. I don't trust it.
My wake-up call was I got an EMF detector. And again, like this is so controversial, but I put it up to my microwave like when it wasn't running, and it was beeping. And like of course, like a microwave emits all that energy, so of course it's gonna have that. But when I was reading, the book is called Fatal Conveniences. It was explaining EMFs. It's like we're so many people sleep with their phone next to their heads.
I was gonna say like
all of these different electronics, all of this energy, we're just surrounded by it 24/7. And so when you just put your food in the microwave, like you're just exposing yourself to more of it. I think the microwave also kills off some of the like good nutrients in your food, but I'm not 100% sure.
Gotcha.
It's so controversial.
All I know is whenever
I'm like honestly afraid to even go there.
No, because it's like I rely on it so much. No, I don't know. I feel like I've been doing this since I was like 5 years old. But whenever I turn on the microwave, I like run away. I go like so far.
You know what? You're doing something.
And I'm like, yeah, hopefully
even if it's just superstition at this point. Like no, I completely agree with what you're saying, Morgan. And I honestly have not done the research into it, so nobody quote me on this. But just my general feeling is everything in our life has a Wi-Fi signal. It has an electron. You know, we had to get
a ring for God's sake.
Right, like we had to get a new refrigerator. The refrigerator is asking us what our Wi-Fi is. We're like, why does the refrigerator need a Wi-Fi? The AC has the Bluetooth. You know, I just think the research will probably come out in the next 20 years of like the impact that it actually has on our bodies. The one thing that I do that like could be, who knows if this is actually doing anything, but I have this like mat. I think it's called like EMF shield, but I have this mat that just goes underneath my laptop because I'm like, if anything, I'm on my laptop all day long during the day, and so at least like it's not going down, or like if I'm using my laptop on my lap on the couch, I just have it there, and it's pretty much like it has, I forget is it lead maybe that's in like the x-ray, like when you get an x-ray, you wear that apron, like a lead apron, it pretty much has like that material in it, so it just any of the signal isn't going down into like my stomach and uterus. It could be fake, it could be real. I honestly have not looked into it. That, and then like just putting my phone on airplane mode at night. But I feel like I have so much to learn in that area too.
You should read. I don't know what chapter it is, because I know you have the book Fatal Conveniences,
yes,
right?
and I started reading it, and I'm like 2 chapters in. I gotta get back to it.
Go to the EMF chapter. Like that's probably one of the best places that like really opened my mind, and why I don't really use the mic. Like if I'm in a rush, I'll use the microwave, like 80-20. But like primarily, I use like the oven to heat up my food. But that is a very eye-opening chapter of like, oh my gosh, like.
Right.
That's just a whole
Right.
nother pillar of like this low toxic living, like holistic journey.
Totally.
Oh yeah, it's
Hard to
like
navigate.
It's
now
next
to
step.
the appliances.
Yeah, I know.
We're gonna be like living in like
We're
shacks.
Yeah, like I have my wood burning stove and I'm
Yes.
living on the farm. I
We
mean,
end up
I
going
think that's
back
where a
to
lot
like
of people go.
1862,
Yes.
and that's that.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm not opposed.
Yeah. Okay. Going back to your stainless steel, can you give us some tips on cooking with stainless steel? I know a lot of people have trouble with it or like everything is
Me.
sticking, but it's not working.
Yes.
So do you have any tips there?
My best tip, and this is the best like strategy that I've found when cooking with stainless steel, and
Okay.
it's to put your pan on the warmer or on the stovetop on medium heat. Let it heat
Okay.
up for like maybe 5 minutes. So it takes patience. It's not instant like a nonstick pan, but get some water on your hands and splash it into the pan. And you want to see it like bead up, and these beads will go all over the pan.
Okay.
But the one thing that I've noticed helps the most is once you see that, take your pan off the heat and then let it sit for like a minute and then put your butter or oil on. And this prevents it from
Okay.
burning. And then put it back on
Oh,
the stove, like with the hot burner, and like cook your food at whatever setting like you need it to. Your food won't stick, and then the butter and oil won't burn.
Is it because the oil is like a specific temperature, and so like what?
I don't know much about like smoke points in oils and
Yeah.
butter, but that's just I've noticed it myself. Like when I would
okay.
heat the pan up for 5 minutes straight and put the butter on, like it would instantly burn. And this
Got
like
it.
and then this strategy or method, you
Okay.
take it off, put the butter on, and it just glides and it's
Love it.
perfect.
Okay, so we're getting it super hot and then we're taking it off, throwing the butter or oil in and then putting it back on and then we're cooking the food.
Yes, and one of my
Okay.
other friends, Thrive with Candace, has a video on it. She has a tutorial. That's where I learned that from, so credit to her.
Love.
She has a
Love.
tutorial on the page.
Okay. I will go and look for that tutorial.
Yeah.
I need it. I totally need it.
I love it.
Who doesn't love a candle? I know some of my simple pleasures in life include cleaning my house, getting cozy on the couch, putting on my favorite show, and lighting a beautiful candle. But what I don't love about traditional candles are the PFAs, formaldehyde releasers, synthetic fragrances, heavy metals, and volatile organic compounds that are often found in them. It definitely just ruins the experience for me if I know that I'm potentially breathing in carcinogenic or hormone disrupting chemicals. And this is why I almost exclusively shop Fate Naturals candles. She has somehow made non-toxic candles smell as potent as the ones that you would buy at Home Goods. I have yet to recommend this candle brand to someone who does not absolutely love them. What's also so fun about Fate Naturals is that she does these seasonal drops. So each season she comes out with a collection of 6 scented candles. The spring collection that just dropped has the scents Succulent Garden, Yuzu Blossom, Blueberry Muffin, Grapefruit Basil, Beach Bonfire, and Coastal Cottage. She also does a Candle of the Month Club where you'll be the first to try exclusive and new scents. The past few months have been Sweet Magnolia for April, which is a delicate floral scent, Lucky Shamrock for March, which is a combination of a crisp aloe and a zesty lime, and February was a red velvet cupcake, which was very sweet and buttery. I have tried lots and lots of candles, and I just always come back to Fate Naturals. They are always my first recommendation when someone is looking for a non-toxic candle. You can get 10% off any Fate Naturals purchase, including monthly recurring subscriptions, with my code DetoxYourDome. That is 10% off any Fate Naturals purchase with the code DetoxYourDome, spelled DetoxYourdome. I promise you will love Fate Naturals.
I wanted to dig into your morning routine.
Ooh.
Walk me through like exactly what you do and like 5 habits that
Yes.
really have worked for you.
So one of the very first things that I do every single morning is taking my basal body temperature.
Oh my
That's what I
gosh,
use to
okay.
track my cycle, which I'm going to test the
Awesome.
ultra human ring out, so that's kind of like my next endeavor. But I'm
Okay.
currently like tracking my cycle by taking my temperature and then putting it into the Natural Cycles app, which
Okay.
with that you have to do it like right when you open your eyes, you're still laying in bed.
Got it.
Got
The
it.
second thing is kind of going back to the EMFs conversation is I plug my phone across my room now. It's like no longer by my bed. So
Nice.
I try not to go on that. Like I don't even touch my phone.
Yep.
Love.
Or I'll start off by tongue scraping first. That's probably like the second thing I do aside from putting in my contacts. Brush
What
my
does tongue
teeth.
scraping do? Like
Yeah.
why is it important?
I wish I had mine here so I could show it what it looks like. You can either get a stainless steel or copper one, and
Okay.
you basically scrape like the bacteria that was in your mouth from overnight, and just it freshens your breath. There's so many benefits to it. Like I can't go a day without it.
No, I love it. I use it every single day, and I'm like, I wonder what this does. I'm gonna continue doing it.
I feel like you could just see like, oh, I can't even
Yeah.
Oh
look
yeah,
at
you can
it
see
because
it.
it's just
You
like
can see
white and foamy. I'm like, all I did before I went to sleep was brush my teeth. Like,
Right.
how does this
Exactly.
all form while I'm sleeping? But it does. So, yep.
Do you guys notice a difference too? Like once you start, you can't go back.
Totally. You
Absolutely.
can't- And I
Yeah.
feel like I haven't gotten sick, and I'm like,
And it
maybe that's why.
legitimately takes
Yeah.
one Mississippi. It's done.
One
Literally.
second.
So it's like, you know what? I'm just doing it.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're
that.
tongue scraping, body temperature,
Yup,
not even
and
touching your
then-
phone yet.
Haven't touched my phone. The next thing I'll do is I stretch every single morning. I feel like
love.
once you kind of like get near your mid 20s, like you can feel your body starting to like lock up, especially
Oh
like
my God,
sitting
yeah.
all day at a job and just like, looking at our phones. Like all of us are starting to
Yep.
get like they call it the tech neck, I think.
Yes.
So it's made the biggest difference, like stretching every day. And again, the
How
days
many
that I
minutes
don't
are you stretching? What are your stretches?
say like 5 to 10 minutes if I can.
Wow.
I don't even know, like the butterfly stretch, cobra stretch,
Yeah.
downward dog, just like really getting your body like moving for the day.
Yep.
It feels so
The blood
good.
is
And then,
pumping.
yeah, once you start, you can't go back. It just feels so good.
Okay. I have another question before we even continue on. Going back to how you're waking up, do you have an alarm clock?
Yes, I have the Hatch alarm. Do you guys
Okay,
use
love.
that?
Yeah, we're
I need to
fans.
get one. I need to get get one.
cannot believe you don't have one yet.
You know what? I actually like I just kind of let myself wake up. Like if I go to sleep,
Amazing.
I just know that I will sleep like 8 to 8.5 hours. So if I go to sleep at a certain time, like and we don't have curtains in our room, which is like
Oh, you
honestly
wake up
kind
to
of by
light.
design. So it just like wakes us up. So
Yeah.
I'm on, but if I have like a meeting or something I have to get to, I set my alarm, but like I pretty much will wake up at the same time. So that's what
I
I'm
love
doing.
that.
I
But
think the Hatch is the best. I'm the same way. My phone is on the other corner of my apartment.
Yup.
So I don't look at my phone until like literally an hour until after I wake up.
love.
I love it. And it makes such a big
Okay.
difference. It resets your circadian rhythm, like just
Such a
not
big
looking at
difference.
that blue light right away in the morning.
Yes.
And it's like the music and the sounds, and you can change the timings.
Yep.
It's truly like an amazing invention.
So you stretch, and then are you like heading into work? What are you doing next?
So I have a remote full-time job. So I'd say
Nice.
the last two steps of my morning routine is making my matcha. I used to
Love.
drink coffee every single day, but then learned about how coffee can be contaminated with mold, was addicted to the caffeine, and just like couldn't go a day without it. So I've transitioned
Yep.
to matcha
Love.
and then start my day out on my walking pad while I do my job.
Obsessed. Are you able to like walk on it while you're like I can only really walk like if I'm talking or like I don't know, I have a hard time sometimes like concentrating if I'm walking. Like how often are you on the walking pad?
I do it for like 2 hours in the morning.
Oh my God, that's
I don't
amazing.
have a problem with it, but I know some people can get nauseous like trying to type
Yeah.
and navigate while
Right.
using it.
Right.
But I haven't had any issues with it. I highly recommend.
Love.
Every single person in my office has a walking pad. Like you walk in and you're like,
In the
"What
office?
is this company?" Yes, every single
amazing.
desk.
That is amazing.
I've actually never even been on one. I've
Really?
never tried one. No,
Well,
I'm
you're kind of
such
on
a-
your feet for your job too.
I'm on my feet, and then I'm such a like I have to be outside walking. I don't care if it's like 2 degrees or 200 degrees. I'm out there, and I feel like that's such
amazing.
a big part of my morning routine.
Yeah.
Even if it's like a 10-minute walk out there,
Totally.
I'm like I have to. And then after all said and done, then I'm like, all right, let's start the day. What's on my phone?
Yep.
So question
at what
for
point
you.
are you? Yeah.
You inspire me because I like if it's cold, I just don't enjoy going outside. But how do you enjoy a walk in the wintertime? Because you guys are
my
in
gosh.
Boston. So how do you
Yes. Oh my God, we just like learned
Bundle,
to bundle
like
up.
literally, I look like an Oompa Loompa.
Yes. I just you have to just have like you have to have the right gear. I
Yep.
would say like this past winter I wasn't so good about it, but like past few winters I've been like training like some sort of running training. So for me just having a set race that I have to go for, I'm like I have no excuse, and I always find that the minute I'm out there I'm like, oh, it's literally not that bad
It's
at all.
actually not bad at
It's
all.
like
That's the thing.
It's like the thought of going outside is 10 times worse than actually just being out
Oh, I
there,
bet.
and you just have to force yourself. Like at least for me, it's setting like a race date. I'm like, okay, I know that I have to be running 2 to 3 times a week, so I have no choice. And then just put my little puffer vest on and my gloves, and I head out there.
Honestly, gloves
I love
does
it.
wonders.
Love
I've
it.
been eating like the first hour that I wake up, which
That's
has
good.
made such a difference
Oh.
in my life. I used to be like, okay, like I'll eat at 11 or 12.
Yep.
I just like, and then I would eat on like I would have coffee on an empty stomach, and I'm like, why is
Yeah.
my cortisol so high? Why am I so stressed?
Yeah,
But yeah, I just have like something simple in the morning, and like I'm happier throughout the day because of it.
I
totally.
was gonna say, have you
Totally.
felt any other differences with that? Because that's something I want to get better at, is eating
100%.
before drinking matcha or like any
Yeah,
caffeine.
I'm like I have my overnight oats. I feel like I live off of that, or I'll make some eggs in the morning.
Yep.
And even I'm like I don't wake up hungry.
Yeah.
It's like I don't
Mm-hmm.
need it, but
Same.
I find myself that like when I do it and kind of like force myself to eat, then I'm fine. And then I have my lunch, and like I don't know, I feel like I used to be like such a everything was shifted, and now I eat like first thing in the morning like 8 a.m. and then I'll have my lunch at 12, and then I have dinner so early. I have dinner at like 5.
That's so good
Yeah,
though.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like a grandmother dinner girl.
Yeah.
Like growing
Okay.
up, we were like a 507 dinner
Oh, yeah.
family. Like my dad would come home and he's like, "All right, dinner."
This is
Love
something
it.
that I find where like I will be like, oh, like I won't eat breakfast until 11 or 12, and then I'm eating lunch at 3 or 4, and then I'm
It's
eating dinner at
shifted,
8 or
yeah.
9, and then it's like, okay,
Yeah.
nothing about this is healthier one way or another, whatever you want to call it, because then if I eat first thing in the morning, then I eat lunch at noon, and then I eat dinner at 5
Yeah.
or 6, and I'm like it's all just gets shifted.
It's the same. Yeah, like
Yeah,
we're
it's the
doing
same.
the same thing, just different times.
Yeah.
But
No, but eating earlier I think is totally you have to start with the first meal. I have been better about cuz I just go right to the gym. Is my morning routine. And so like I'll eat like a banana or a piece of toast with like peanut butter before the gym, because you honestly can just train harder, feel better. So
Yeah.
I started working that in, and like
sure.
it's totally just routine now.
yeah, because our body like needs to like fast for a while. Like
Right.
that's why it's good to eat dinner early because you're
Yeah.
like I don't know.
Give
I feel
yourself
like
the time
my
to
sleep.
digest.
I feel like I've always said it. I'm like your morning routine starts with your nighttime routine.
Yeah.
You need to get your
Yep.
nighttime routine down to a science. And
Right.
I'm like, if I have a full stomach, I can't go to bed.
Totally.
And so I try to. It's all for the sleep.
Okay, so going back to you taking your basal body temperature, talk to us about you are on the natural birth control wave. Talk to us about that. I've never done it. I honestly don't know anything about it. So tell
Yeah.
us everything.
The first resources I would recommend that you check out, there's 2 different books, Taking Charge of Your Fertility and then Period Repair Manual.
Okay.
Very, very eye-opening books. And I feel like as women, we're just, I don't know if you guys have experienced the same thing, but we are not taught about our cycles.
No.
Like I didn't learn about any of this until I was maybe 21 or 22. But I
Totally.
feel like doctors are just so quick to prescribe birth control as like a band-aid method, like, for all different types of scenarios. But then when you open
Yeah.
up the side effects, it's pages and pages and pages long.
Yeah.
Right.
There's so many different side effects, yet doctors are
Yeah.
so quick to give you that without even talking about like your other alternatives. You can only get pregnant
Right.
3 to 6 days of your entire cycle, yet I didn't find that out until I was 21.
Right. So I know. And it's like point blank, shouldn't we like be using less medicine? Like, isn't it just better to us like be not be putting these things in our body unless we need them? So okay, so you take your temperature, and like what does that tell you? Does that tell you like, okay, I'm ovulating right now, or it tells you at what point of your cycle that you're in, and then you said you use an app to track all of that?
Yes. And I would never say like just rely on the app. Like I think it's important to know all of your different fertility signs. So basal body temperature, that kind of indicates like when I can tell off my temperature when I'm going to get my period or when I'm ovulating. So when you're going to get your period, your temperature drops a little bit. And then when
Okay.
you're ovulating, your temperature spikes. And then
Okay.
other fertility signs are cervical mucus, which won't get into that, but like that's a whole nother can of worms. And then you can
guys read
take
the
the
book for
LH.
that. They can read the book for this
Yes,
information.
read the book for that. There's photos.
Yeah.
And then LH tests where you can, it's basically like a pregnancy test where you can put it in your pee and it will tell you if your LH hormone has spiked, but then you can
Okay.
tell that you're going to ovulate within like the next 24 to 48 hours. And then you can put all this information into the app and it will give you like a green or a red day.
Okay.
When you shouldn't.
All right.
Like
Wow. Okay, but you just do your temperature. That's enough for you.
I
Or do you do all of
I
it?
do all 3 just because
Oh,
I'm
wow.
psycho about it. But again,
No,
like
I
I
love
love
it.
it.
It's also like you're gonna get to learn your body. I don't know, maybe at some point in your life you won't, but I think it's cool to just have all the data, have all the metrics, and then be like, oh, this is what's going on, and just learn about it. Like, this is the
Absolutely.
body that I literally exist in at all points of the day. Why don't I just know what's going on inside of it?
It's so freeing. And like sometimes I'll feel myself feeling super irritable and then I'll realize like, well, I'm in my luteal phase. Like makes sense, like about to get my period.
Yeah. So we've talked a lot about the products that you do have in your house and the products that you do use and the things that you do use. What about some absolutely would never have this in my house, would never recommend this products? If you were to tell someone to take 3 to 5 products out of their house, like, and never put them back in, what are those products?
I would say, I guess it like, again, it goes in categories. Like there's kitchen and cleaning, and then there's like body care, personal care. I would
Yep.
say with like product wise, aluminum free or aluminum deodorant, I would immediately switch to aluminum free.
Yep.
And then Dawn dish soap would never have
Yeah.
that in my house. Just like with
Yep.
cleaning products, like all of the synthetic dyes and colors and fragrance in there, like that's just not
Right.
something that we want to like it leaves a residue on your
Wait,
dishes.
guys, that made me remember something about this weekend.
Oh, no.
I was at my sister's. I was at my sister's visiting, and I was in the shower, and she has like Dove body wash, and I was cackling because it was like cookie crumble, and that's all the body wash that she had, and I'm like, all right, I guess I'm using this, and the smell was so good. I felt like I was literally in a kitchen making cookies. But I'm like, I ran out afterwards and I'm like, Kiki, throw this away.
Yeah.
She also
Like,
does
it's
have
so
Dawn
crazy.
too. The whole time.
Like, I don't know what's in here, but if it smells this good, it
Can't be good.
And it goes honestly, like going back to your question, I would say anything with undisclosed fragrance in it, like your candles, your wall plugins, your car air fresheners, like in that term fragrance, like you have no idea. Companies don't have to tell you it's a trade secret. It can contain
Totally.
over 3,000 chemicals, some of them being hormone disrupting ingredients, carcinogens. So
Yep.
I would immediately get rid of any of those so you're not breathing it in 24/7.
Going into non-toxic living or low toxic living, if you just purchase products that don't have that undisclosed term fragrance, you will probably be like 85% of the way there in terms of your personal care products, because it's in everything. It's in everything. And like if a brand is specifically not putting it in, you're probably already in the right place.
Absolutely. And that's why we want to look for brands too. Like one of my best pieces of advice is to look for brands that discloses all of the ingredients in their fragrance. Or if they say it's natural, like making sure that they disclose it's derived or it's made from essential oils, telling us how it's made.
No, that makes sense.
Yep.
What about like the myths, like the 3 myths of non-toxic living or low-tox living? Let's just say it as it is and shut it down right here.
Sophia, what do you think of like when you think of myths?
I think that there's a lot in general in this space that is just like exaggerated. I think there's a lot of times people cherry pick information, and it makes it really hard for, I feel like, people like us who are really being diligent and like reading all the studies and interpreting them the way that they're meant to be interpreted. I think just in general, people will take like one claim and then just like blow it out of proportion. For instance, raw milk is like a huge thing. And I just did an episode on raw milk. And just one part of that is a lot of people online say, you know, if you drink raw milk, you're less likely to get allergies. And I was like, all right, let's look into this. And if you look at any one of the studies, it's, first of all, it's just correlated that children who are growing up on farms or around farms like have less incidence of allergies and asthma. But it's not like you can just attribute that to raw milk, and it's just taking it out of proportion. Like it's like, okay, maybe the raw milk is playing into this. It's also probably them having access to fresh farm grass-fed animal products and vegetables, and they're probably spending more time outside and alongside with all the pollen and the germs that are outside. Like they're just kind of getting exposed to a lot. So it's like, okay, yeah, there's a lot of valid points to spending time outside and getting your food from a farm, but like don't weaponize it and then make people believe something that could be harmful to them.
Yeah, and a lot of the times with the claims, like they'll come up with a headline. People will see that one headline and just it starts getting passed along, and then people just start hearing that without even like knowing the study of it.
Totally. I think like anytime someone just says like there's been a study, blah blah blah, and then like they don't tell you what the study is, red flags should be going off. And something that I always appreciate about you, Morgan, is you're always putting the study, and it's not just like a headline, like it's actually the study, like the research that was done on this ingredient. And yeah, it's sad because I think then sometimes people do get put off on low tox living or holistic living because they're like, these people are just making stuff up. It's a hard space to be in because there is a lot of misinformation.
Absolutely. And again, that just goes back to, it's hard to keep up with too. There's just so much information out there, and as viewers too, it's like, how do you know what to believe?
Right. It's so hard. Yeah.
Agreed.
So Morgan, what's next for you? You have an amazing page, and also just to note, like you have a full-time job And you're doing this on the side, which is amazing. But what does the next year look like?
Yeah, the rest of the year is pretty busy with everything low toxic living on my page. I do a lot of giveaways on my page, so that's something for everyone to keep their eyes out for. I love sharing the products I get sent to me because I wouldn't get them without everybody, and I want you guys to get to try them too. I'm working with a brand that I think a lot of low toxic living viewers love and collaborating on a product, so that's coming up.
Oh
Yeah,
my gosh.
fancy.
Teasing it. We can't wait.
And then I'm working on a product on my own side. I don't want to give too much away, but
Okay.
I'm really trying to involve my community with it and being like, what do you need help with the most in this space? What is the most overwhelming for you? What products are you having trouble swapping out? How can I help you? And I'm turning that into something, but I'm not going to give it away.
Love it. You're just getting started.
Oh my God, we cannot wait. Okay, well, speaking of a giveaway, Morgan and I have a very special giveaway planned for our viewers and our community. Worked with some brands to give away some of our favorite products to our listeners. So in order to enter this giveaway, follow both of us on TikTok.
Thank you so much.
And I feel like we could talk for another hour too. Like,
We could, yeah, forever.
yes, I know. We actually could. We could.